The economy had been widely expected to grow between July and September, but instead figures released today show that gross domestic product, that's the unit used to measure growth, shrank by 0.4%. Well, let's try and get a picture from two parts of the UK. In a moment, we'll be hearing from Tara Mills in Newton Ards in Northern Ireland. First, though, let's speak to Fiona Trott in Sunderland. Fiona.
Well, the northeast of England has one of the worst rates for unemployment in the whole of the UK. So during the recession, it's even more difficult to find a job here. But what they're doing in Sunderland, in this city, is to use the local football club to get them involved in a scheme to get people back to work. They hope that if local people see that their favourite football club is involved, it might encourage them to get out there and find a job. It's supported by one of Sunderland's former footballers, Marco Gabbiadini. What is the aim of this scheme? How does it all work?
Yeah, well, I'm head of sports-based learning for Inspire to Independence. We're a private company, but we've won a contract from Sunderland City Council, and we deliver our training and pre-employment programme to get people, help them back to work, but mainly it's a confidence boosting, self-esteem boosting programme to help people back towards a better place towards a job. We use the football club because obviously in lots of cities around the country, Sunderland especially, it's a shining light in the city. There's the glamour that's involved, there's the surroundings you've seen up in our centre today. Fantastic surroundings to work with, and it really helps to inspire and change people's attitude towards their outlook. Really.
It's not your average form filling in, practising your CV, no. Practising your interview technique. It's all about problem solving and getting people to boost their confidence.
We tried lots of things to break down the barriers. There's some of the guys who come to us, they've maybe had a few setbacks and they get a little bit, we have issues such as dependency, maybe depression, and within this scheme we can signpost them to specialists for those needs as well. But a lot of the time it's just a case of guys who've took a bit of a knockback, as I said, and just need a helping hand. And we try and provide our coaches, as we call them, provide sort of a best mate really. They just take them under the wing and try and help them towards a brighter future, we hope.
Okay, well let's speak to Lee Hornsby. You've been on this course, you found a job and you start work tomorrow. How difficult was it though to find that job in the first place?
Well, it was difficult because I got laid off after the Christmas and New Year period, and I got laid off for about 3 or 4 months. Then I was just filling in here and there, and I'm glad I've got this start tomorrow.
And that's in a restaurant, that's in the service industry which we're talking about today, which has been hit hard during the recession. What happened when you went to the job centre?
Well, I was using the computers, and they were just part-time jobs, and that's not no good for me.
So you found a course like this better than the traditional way of getting to the job centre and finding a job. Now we're saying today that this is the longest recession we've ever had. How are you finding it personally in terms of your cash, how you spend your money? How's it affecting you?
Well, I have to tighten my belt, if you know what I mean, because it's hard these days, even for people who is working.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, thank you both very much for joining us here this afternoon. Of course, this recession is continuing, as we say, these figures out today. Experts also saying that they think unemployment could reach 3 million by next year, so it could be that more schemes like this get running in other parts of the country. But what's happening across the UK? Let's speak now to Tara Mills, who's in County Down.
Well, one of the reasons that the latest figures took so many by surprise is that there have been some patchy signs of recovery around the UK recently. Let's hear now from two different parts of Britain. Fiona Trott is in Sunderland and Richard Bond is in Felixstowe.
Well, Gavin, the seats here at the Stadium of Light say, away the lads. Words of encouragement for the players here in Sunderland, but they hope words of encouragement for some of the local fans too, who are finding it difficult to get a job during what's now become the longest recession since records began. A scheme's been set up here that involves the club. They hope that if local people see that their favourite club is involved in it, it'll encourage them to get out there and find a job. We're going to be speaking to Mike Greener, who's involved in this scheme, Jonathan Kane, who's actually found a job as a result of it, and Vince Taylor from Sunderland City Council. But let's speak to Mike first. What is the aim of this? Why is it different to a job centre?
I think the main thing we have to remember here is that this programme has been tried and tested elsewhere in the country. As an organisation, we run the same programme at different football clubs. We've got the support and the endorsement of the likes of Alex Ferguson, the Prime Minister, and some pretty serious high-level football managers.
It's getting people enthused, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Getting them involved.
Yeah, we engage with participants and we keep them motivated and busy whilst they're with us.
OK, Jonathan, how difficult was it for you to find a job during the recession? I know you found one 2 weeks ago, but how long did it take?
7 months to find jobs. Every time I was going to the job centre, I was getting letters left, right and centre off the door, contacting people, getting told there was no work, and just writing letters off and sending them by post through Eye to Eye.
Now, longest recession we've had now since records began. How is it affecting you? How are you finding it on a day-to-day basis?
Struggling really hard. It's paying bills. I was used to getting a tiny bit of money, then once I went in the door I lost a lot, and I got like rent, gas, electric and council tax to pay, and it was really hard to pay.
OK, Vince Taylor, you're from City Council, you're backing this scheme. How much have you invested in it?
Well, we're putting 350,000 in for this year and next, and then we'll look at see whether it works and we can put more in. But that's part of a £30 million scheme over a 3-year period, which is really quite ambitious. It's about getting 4,000 new jobs created in the city and 2,500 people off benefits and some long-term benefits and into work.
But when we're getting the figures like we're getting today, that still, you know, we're still locked in this recession, how confident are you that you're going to be able to achieve that?
Well, there's always new jobs being created, and that's the thing. I mean, we're talking about security jobs here, and there's always a need for people doing that sort of work. So we're optimistic. The jobs are coming through. Nissan have taken on people recently, contact centres, another 400 jobs. So the demand's out there, but absolutely right. This scheme is about motivation. You can skill people up for work, but if you don't motivate them, they won't win at interview, and this is why Eye to Eye is so good.
OK, thank you all for joining us here this afternoon. Well, that's a picture of what's happening here in the northeast of England. What about other parts of the UK? Let's speak now to Richard Bond, who's in Felixstowe.